You think pain is your enemy. You've been running from it your whole life. Every choice you make is designed to avoid discomfort, to keep yourself safe, to maintain the soft existence you've built around yourself. But that safety is a cage. That comfort is a slow death. You're not protecting yourself. You're suffocating. Every moment you spend avoiding what hurts is a moment you spend becoming weaker, softer, less capable of handling what life will eventually force you to face. And it will force you. Pain doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It comes when it wants, and when it arrives, you will either stand or you will crumble. The difference between those outcomes is not luck. It's not genetics. It's preparation. It's the willingness to walk into the fire before the fire comes for you. Most people wait until they have no choice, and by then it's too late. By then they've spent so long avoiding difficulty that they don't know how to function under pressure. They break. You don't have to be one of them. Your body is built to adapt. Your mind is built to survive. But neither of them will do what they're capable of unless you force them. Comfort breeds stagnation. When you give yourself everything you want, when you remove every source of stress, you don't become happier. You become fragile. Your tolerance for discomfort shrinks. Your ability to push through adversity disappears. You become a person who needs perfect conditions to function, and perfect conditions don't exist. Life is chaos. Life is pressure. Life is a series of problems that require you to be strong enough to solve them. And if you've spent your time avoiding struggle, you won't have the strength when you need it. The man who trains in the cold can fight in the cold. The man who only trains in warmth freezes when the temperature drops. You've been training in warmth your entire life, and you wonder why you feel so weak when things get hard. It's because you are weak. Not permanently, not irreversibly. But right now, in this moment, you are not ready. Discipline is not a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. It's a muscle. You build it the same way you build physical strength. You do things you don't want to do. You get up when you want to stay down. You work when you want to rest. You push when every part of you is screaming to stop. And each time you do that, you get a little stronger. Each time you override your impulses, you take back a piece of control. Most people never do this. They spend their lives reacting to how they feel. They're tired, so they sleep. They're bored, so they scroll. They're uncomfortable, so they quit. They live as slaves to their own emotions, and then they wonder why their lives feel out of control. You can't control most of what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. That response is everything. That response determines whether you move forward or stay stuck. Discipline is the decision to act regardless of how you feel, and that decision is the only thing standing between you and the person you're supposed to become. Pain is information. When your muscles burn during a workout, they're telling you they're being pushed beyond their current capacity. That burn is the signal that growth is happening. When you feel the discomfort of discipline, when you force yourself to do what's hard, that discomfort is the same signal. It means you're exceeding your limits. It means you're building capacity you didn't have before. Most people interpret that feeling as a reason to stop. They think discomfort means something is wrong. They've been conditioned to believe that if something doesn't feel good, it must be bad for them. That's a lie sold to keep you passive. Discomfort is not damage. Discomfort is progress. The feeling you're trying to avoid is the exact feeling that indicates you're doing something worthwhile. Every time you push through it, you expand what you're capable of. Every time you retreat from it, you reinforce your limitations. You're programming yourself with every choice. Make sure you're programming strength, not weakness. Responsibility is weight. It's supposed to be heavy. When you take on responsibility, when you commit to something bigger than your own comfort, you're adding pressure to your life. That pressure will test you. It will reveal every weak point, every shortcut you've taken, every lie you've told yourself. And that revelation is exactly what you need. Pressure exposes what's real. It shows you who you actually are, not who you pretend to be when things are easy. Most people avoid responsibility because they're afraid of that exposure. They don't want to find out they're not as capable as they thought. They'd rather live in the fantasy of their potential than face the reality of their current limits. But potential means nothing. Potential is just a word people use to describe what they haven't done. What matters is action. What matters is whether you can carry the weight when it's placed on you. The only way to know is to pick it up. The only way to grow is to carry something heavier than you carried yesterday. Your enemies are not the people around you. Your enemies are the voices in your head that tell you to quit. The part of you that wants to sleep in. The part of you that justifies shortcuts. The part of you that says you've done enough when you know you haven't. That voice is not your friend. It's not protecting you. It's keeping you small. It sounds like reason, but it's fear dressed up as logic. It will give you 1,000 reasons why you should stop, why you should rest, why you should compromise. And every reason will sound convincing in the moment. That's how it works. That's how it wins. You have to recognize that voice for what it is and decide that you're not listening anymore. You have to build a stronger voice, a voice that demands more from you, a voice that refuses to accept excuses. That voice doesn't appear on its own. You create it by acting against the weaker voice repeatedly until the stronger one becomes dominant. Every time you push through resistance, you make that voice louder. Every time you give in, you make the other one stronger. You're in a war with yourself, and the side that wins is the side you feed.